Hi there, I'm back recording a new review from my echoing cave. Today I'll be talking about Phobias, a 2021 horror movie released this month. Phobias tells the interweaving stories of 5 dangerous patients, each suffering from extreme phobias, who get put to the ultimate test under the supervision of a crazed doctor and his quest to weaponize their fear. Phobias is an anthology, with each patient and their battle with their unique phobia playing out in its own short horror segment. It's a really cool idea both as a general premise and a format for an anthology. We all have our own phobias, something that we are deathly afraid of. Spiders, heights, women. There are a lot of cool ways this mad doctor could exploit different phobias. This had loads of potential for tense, creative scare sequences. I suppose the most fair way to do this review would be to judge each segment first on its own, then Phobias as a whole. Segment number 1 is Robophobia. This started really strong. The main character and his sick father are extremely likable characters. It has tons of heart, and the racial abuse the Asian main character suffers is an extremely timely subject. Unfortunately, as it goes on, it becomes unbelievably silly, taking a hard left turn from a grounded story about a lonely man dealing with racial injustice to a weird supervillain origin story. Vihophobia is up next. This reminds me a lot of the car scene from Curse of La Llorona or the Moonlight Man short, but just a worse version of those. Unlike Robophobia, this segment didn't start off well, it never dropped off a cliff, it's just consistently subpar throughout. Phobiphobia came after. The last two I could somewhat guess what they were about from the name of the phobia. Here I had no clue what a phobiphobia was. I can barely say it. This one is slightly better. It has a fairly consistent logic, consistent character motivations, some suspense, and a clever enough reveal about what a phobiphobia means. Hoplophobia was fourth. This was super short, super simple. It felt kind of like the filler segment added to pad the overall runtime. It feels almost like it tried to have a message about gun control, but all it really says is guns are bad. It's entirely surface level. Atelophobia was the final entry. This is probably the second best segment. It's relatively funny while still remaining very dark. It has a mystery and a reveal that is satisfying to a degree. The makeup effects are also decent, and it has the best cast of characters. There was also an overall framing segment that's not really worth talking about. I think it was called Outpost 47. It's just the doctor and his antics, the glue that holds all these shorts together and connects them. Overall, Phobias was surprisingly bad. The first 5 minutes were honestly really excellent. I was pretty excited for what was to come. Then this absolutely nosedived so hard and just never recovered. All the segments looked good, they were technically proficient, but the stories are either incredibly bland or absolutely absurd. I mean, for example, it's revealed the reason the mad doctor is doing all this to the subjects is to extract their fear from their brains into a gas that the US government can use as a weapon. There was also a completely unexplained character in this whose body is made up entirely of electricity. It's a pretty jarring contrast of tone and believability to jump back and forth between segments about gun control and then to see a lightning man. I really regret paying to watch this. This was shockingly bad for the level of production value it has and the notable actors in it. I do not recommend this, even when it eventually comes to some streaming service. That is my review of Phobias. If you like this video, please subscribe. I post new horror reviews, recommendations, and deep dives on Fridays. As well on Mondays, I post quick 1-minute horror recommendations for movies you can find on streaming services. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.